only started and completed 2 games, started 4 total games, ended the season ended early with a shoulder injury. What are your thoughts on Anthony Richardson and what we're going to be looking for this season?
Yeah, so it was almost like a microcosm of his college career where the main problem was we just didn't see enough of it, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the deal where, okay, again, he's way further along from a pocket passing, mental processing, reading of a defense point of view than I think people expected him to be. And I think a lot of that is just not fully watching his tape. I mean, this was the case in college. He was incredibly inexperienced and young as a quarterback, but he was not just a one read and run type of player. He did operate from a pocket to a pretty high degree in college. It's just that because he's the greatest athlete to ever enter the league as a quarterback, we tend to attach that to a certain style of play and assume that he can't possibly be, a mental processing, cerebral type of quarterback as well. So the same thing was true. He was further along mentally than I think people expected him to be. He was also capable of spectacular plays, both with his arm and his legs. The inaccuracy that was the biggest sort of red flag of his prospect film was still there. And then the new variable or the new piece of information was, and we had multiple injuries that then set him out for the year. And that is the big concern, because if you're going to use Anthony Richardson to the fullest of his capabilities, he is part of your designed run game. And he just hurt himself twice doing that in 4 weeks.
Yeah, so he had 4 touchdowns in the, 4 games that he played, right? Not even 4 complete games. You could see Shane Steichen, Colts head coach. You could see the creativity and how they were using him. Some of the touchdowns were just easy, right? Schemed up. But that rushing ability does open up so much of the offense. So that's what for 2024, what's that balance, right? Part of the secret sauce of Anthony Richardson is his ability to run, to open up the pass, create open throws, mitigate some of the accuracy issues. I think, again, there's not much to – I would say there's definitely more positive to feel about Richardson in that small sample size. He had a couple turnover-worthy plays that may have hurt his production grades. He had a couple fumbles, a couple bad turnover-worthy plays in there. But other than that, you feel good about what you can build upon right here. It's just a matter, for me, finding that balance of completely relying on him winning within the pocket versus continuing to build that run game around him, because I think the potential of the run game and what that does for the pass game is through the roof, and they have to figure out how to best keep him healthy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this season looks like for him, because the injuries last season, the classic reason that teams did not like quote-unquote running quarterbacks back in the day is you can't use them in the NFL because they're going to get hurt, right? You expose them to too many hits, and that's too risky in the NFL. And they get hurt and you can't use those guys, and it's not worth it, right? And I think in recent years that has changed and teams are tapping more into that style. But in 4 weeks, Richardson basically reinforced every old stereotype of why you can't use a quarterback in that way. Does that change things, or do they just put that down to, look, sometimes you're going to get, like, injuries happen, you get unlucky, and we carry on. Like, we stick with the game plan. We're still going to use him in that way, and then we're going to bring him on? Or is it like, no, we have to really scale back how much we're going to tap into that kind of stuff and expect him to do more without that propping him up? That it just changes. It changes the acceleration arc and the growth curve that you expect from him. So I'm curious to see how much they let those multiple injuries affect their plan for him.